And good evening, everybody, and welcome here as we get set for the first race of the 2023 PCSRA Buffalo Wild Wings Series. Coming to you tonight from the Riki Raceway in Rimouski, Quebec, Canada. We're ready for 140 laps tonight, the Canadian 315. Let's go over the grid, and then we'll talk about our race weekend. Monica Towns on the pole, Max Lips alongside. Carlos Knott and Kaylee Rankin, row 2. Row 3, Mia Watts and Greta Wagner. Emily Elizabeth, Jared Underhill, row 4. Bridget Thomas and Ari Springer round out the top 10. Here's the rest of your starting lineup. Tom Montgomery replacing April Winters because of the fact she's not 18. Damian Sharper, who raced his way in from the non-charter race, so did Alita Therese. Zachary Fitzwater raced his way into this event via the non-charter race, so did Darby King. Heather Galloway and Lulu Champagne round out our 42-car field tonight. Command's already been given. Let's get these cars rolling. 140 laps tonight, 315 miles. We had 3 cautions in last night's Truck Series race. I wonder how many yellows we're going to have here tonight in this race with an extra 40 laps on tap. If you hear a fire alarm in the background, I apologize. They're testing the fire alarms again. So just ignore that, folks. Get the brightness off here. Sorry if my hand's shaking. I just want to go punch one of my roommates for staring the crap out of me. Oh, one car's got a problem. That's Stephanie Driscoll. Wonder if she's got a tire problem or not. We'll have to find out. As the Buffalo Wild Wings Series ready to get this season underway, pace car is off. It's time for the first race of the 2023 season. Green flag, the Canadian 315 is underway. Check on the one car, see what the issue is, and it's a flat tire. Right side tires were flat. Probably picked up a puncture, so they'll get some new right side tires for that one car. As Kaylee Rankin's going to lead the first lap here tonight at Riki. Fun stat to note, this series has not been on this channel since 2016, believe it or not. That's how long it's been. And now that I have NRT on 3, we are not going to have this problem. Jared Underhill leads as Driscoll's coming off turn number 4. The field's entering turn number 3. Emily Elizabeth takes the lead. Mentioned this in the non-charter race. These cars are a lot different than 2016. They have a new front style bumper. They have composite bodies, is what I'm trying to say. The spoilers are a lot shorter than they were in 2016, and of course their names on the front and on the rear windshield on most of these cars. Not all of these cars, but most of these cars. 22, that's Amanda Wallace. I believe finished in the top 5 in the point standings in the Truck Series points last season. Driving for Team Penske here in the Buffalo Wild Wings Series, that's Todd Montgomery in the 06. As I mentioned, Todd's in this car because April Winters is not 18 years old. She is currently 17. So I'm going to move NR a little bit closer so that way I can have the schedule out. All right, I'm going to have this up. Hang on. Let's pull this right here. Hold on, y'all. Okay, there we go. I'll scoot NR right here. I'll move this right here. There we go. Because there's the schedule over here to the right. It's like Montgomery just barely led that lap. That's Alita Perez. Go ahead and minimize that. Alita Perez in the 51, driving for Jeremy Clements Racing here in the Buffalo Wild Wings series. Hang on a second, I gotta clean this off. You just gotta look for the one. Do apologize. Trying to clean deals so that way you guys can see the cars. There we go. Zachary Fitzwater going to take the lead. Of course, Fitzy, as they're going to be catching Driscoll pretty soon. Yeah, that light bulb, by the way, just went out. Gotcha. So, I was telling house staff they're doing some changes, or fixing the house as I'm recording this race. We saw in the non-charter race here 2 days ago that, you know, pit stops came into play because these cars are under the GNS physics, which means they're going to have to pit a lot longer in this race. And this is 40 laps longer than our truck race last night. Chloe Carmichael in the 2.
Gotcha. I figured it out. Push from the side, up from the P all the way to the T.
Chloe Carmichael last night had a DNF, did not finish well in last night's truck race. Actually, she finished out of the race in last night's truck race. Maria Nowicki in the 9 for Junior Motorsports. That's his, or that's her teammate, excuse me, JJ Parks, as they're going to catch the 1 car really soon. Chloe Carmichael currently the leader. That's the 1 car of Stephanie Driscoll. Check the back of the field here. Greta Wagner's back here with Bella Santiago. Carla Sanat in the 32. That's Mia Watson, the 16 back there. So we're going to go back up to the 7. And the 7's going to take the lead. And, of course, they're going to put the 1 car 1 lap down. Of course, we got composite bodies on these cars. Something we didn't have on the 2016, or yeah, on the NXS 15 mod, which this was the last time this series was racing, was we were on the NXS 15, and we had the puppy ear spoilers. Of course, not the case this year with the smaller spoilers and with these new composite bodies. As here comes Luke Peters in the 11, going to take the lead from, that's Park in the 7. There's Diana Lawson driving the 58 car. Diana Lawson, I don't know if she took part, I don't think she took part in last night's truck race. She did watch the truck race in the stands. Luke Peters in the 11. That's Jesse Art in the 19. We talked about last night that Ari Springer had a rough night. Well, the same can be said to, and also Chloe Carmichael, who had a rough night last night. Jessie Art also had a rough night. She was involved in a pit lane incident in last night's Truck Series race, if you weren't with us last night, as they have now caught Stephanie Driscoll. A bad weekend for Stephanie Driscoll just got worse. Had a dismal run last night in the truck race, and now about to go a lap down here tonight in the Buffalo Wild Wings Series race. But she is up to speed, though, so there's no damage to that one machine, but it's a tough break. She's about to go a lap down, but she's staying up front in front of this lead group, and yep, she's about to get put a lap down. There's Lulu Champagne. Last season, Lulu Champagne in the Monster Energy Series was in the danger zone of losing her spot, which she ended up dropping down to the Buffalo Wild Wings Series, driving for Chip Ganassi Racing. She will participate in tomorrow night's running of the divisions here at Riki for the Monster Energy Series as Wyatt Garcia goes to the lead. There's Makoto Tanaka. And that's Xavier Allstott. I have not seen Xavier since he was a part of the Monster Energy Series in 2016. Moving down to the Buffalo Wild Wings Series, driving for Rick Ware Racing's number 17. Damian Sharper parted ways with Williams Racing in this series, now driving for Ginn Motorsports. Team owner Bobby Ginn fielding I believe he's fielding a two-car team. Yep, a single-car effort. And they signed Damian Sharper, who drove the zero car last season. Ironically, there's the zero car that he ran in 2016. That's driven by Darby King. For the 4 drivers that raced their way into this race via the non-charter race, if they win today, it's not going to change the championship because they're not running the full schedule because they're either one of two things. They're either A, part of the Foster Series, or B, they are part of another series that they're in, like either Monster Energy or Truck Series. So they're not running for Buffalo Wild Wings Series points, even though they're scoring their own points. As Victor Gonzalez, sponsored by Whataburger, is going to take the lead. Victor Gonzalez, the Puerto Rican. Last time I had Victor Gonzalez in an NR series, I believe he took part in the AutoZone Amateur Series. As John Wesley Allen leads. Of course, Wesley Allen's driving the 07 Jack Daniels Chevrolet in the Foster Series. Now driving for Team Red Bull. And he has a teammate, which is Samantha Greenville. Of course, Samantha Greenville doing double... I believe she's not running full-time. She's not running full-time in the Monster Energy Pro, so she decided to go ahead and go full-time in the Buffalo Wild Wings Series. She will return full-time in Monster Energy next season. Oh, sorry. As Ari Springer, who you'll see her tomorrow night in the Monster Energy Series. Max Lipson in second. Jared Underhill is third. Here comes Jared. Max Lipson running full-time in the Buffalo Wild Wings Series after he dropped down 2 years ago. Ari Springer's driving for Chip Ganassi Racing. Jared's driving for Penske Racing. And there's Sierra Harris driving for Phoenix Racing.
What movie was that again?
As Ari continues to lead. Ari finished 29th in last night's Truck Series race. Of course, the reason Ari was in that truck race was one of the drivers Cody Smart had in that ride was not 18 years old. Sierra Harris drove the 16 in the Buffalo Wild Wings Series. This is her return to the series. This will be her final season in Buffalo Wild Wings Series before she focuses her commitments on the Monster Energy Series next season, unless she falls into the danger zone. Bridget Thomas in the 40. Bridget will be running her final season in this series. She'll focus on the Monster Energy Series in 2024. Zachary Fitzwater, who raced his way into this race via the non-charter event. Monica Towns in the 13. There's Carla Sinat driving the Tide 32. Right behind her is Annie Winters.
She's like, you use coffee.
We talked about Max Lipson, who's been in the Buffalo Wild Wings series after losing his spot and all that. Annie Winters lost her spot in this Monster Energy series, and she's now in the Buffalo Wild Wings series. And ironically enough, she's sponsored by Monster Energy. Ironically enough, if you hear the fire alarm, I do apologize.
Last one.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Someone said lied to me.
Last one.
Yes. Ignore the fire alarm, folks. I'm really sorry. As Carla Sinat in the 32, getting ready to go to the lead. I love how they lied to me about the fire alarm. That was the last time. That's like famous last words. Greta Wagner in the 09 as I'm going to try to talk over the fire alarm. There we go. Apologize about that. But back to what I was saying. Greta Wagner ran the 78 Little Einstein's Mitsubishi Lancer.
It should all be working now. That's it, man.
Decided she had to move down to the Buffalo Wild Wings series because she couldn't find a ride in the Monster Energy series. So she's driving the Mikasuki Chevy for Phoenix Racing, and the 81 is her teammate. Wagner's running for, I don't know why it says she's running for Rookie of the Year. She's not. I do apologize. I forgot to take that R off. That's my bad. Scarlett Nelson is a rookie, though. Scarlett Nelson, another driver who moved down to the Buffalo Wild Wings series after, well, not having the best of luck, but driving for Nathan Orman Motorsports, sponsored by Nicorette and DuPont, on her number 24 Chevrolet Camaro. And Jake Putnam in the 20, going to take the lead, driving the DEX Toyota Supra for Joe Gibbs Racing, something I'm going to have to get used to seeing in the Buffalo Wild Wings series because I'm used to seeing Toyota Camry. Of course, Toyota with the new Supra on all of the Toyotas, so that will be something cool. And then Stephanie Driscoll's not battling for position because she is not on the lead lap. She will try to get her lap back. She's trying to get a quick yellow is what she's trying to get is. This is the battle for the lead with Amanda Wallace currently going for the lead, and she'll get that complete and she'll lead another lap. All these cars are now slip sliding around because the tires are starting to go away because now we're starting to get into a green flag run as Emily Elizabeth goes back to the race lead. 96, that's Emma Tutu. She's driving for Hall of Fame Racing after a season in Joe Gibbs Racing. She is making her return back to the Buffalo Wild Wings series. Her rookie year was kind of a disaster. We'll see if that will change. That's the 70 down there. That's Ivory Walker. It was announced Ivory Walker and Makoto Tanaka, the 70, and who is Tanaka driving for? The 44. It was announced that they will be moving up full-time to the Monster Energy Series full-time next season. They will field 2 entries for that team. So they're having their final run in Buffalo Wild Wings series before they move up and start racing full-time with drivers like Alita Perez, who's right there in the 51. Of course, Perez is doing double duty, going to be racing in the Monster Energy Series race tomorrow night, so she's trying to get this test here. Ari Springer's also another driver who's running Double Duty will also be in tomorrow night's Monster Energy Series race. So we'll see how that goes as the one car's back one lap down. Stephanie Driscoll has had a weekend to forget as we're checking the back of the field. Jared Underhill's back here along with the 55. That's Justin Hugo, who had a very rough night in the Truck Series race here last night. Justin Hugo was involved in a wreck through no fault of his own. Fitzwater's back here. I think these guys are back here just trying to avoid the big one. Because a lot of times when we come to a super speedway race, drivers tell me that their main goal is to avoid the dreaded big one that we see on these super speedway races. As we're going to go back up to the leaders. Chloe Carmichael led that lap. That's Sean Art in the 18. Yes, that is Sean. Sean finished multiple laps down last night in the Truck Series race. Driving the number 18 Poppy Bank Toyota Supra out of Joe Gibbs Racing. Hopefully tonight will be a better night for Sean Art and Jesse versus what they had in last night's truck race. Of course, Jesse finished 41st last night. Sean didn't do too well, so it was not a good night, but they learned a lot that could help them here tonight in the Buffalo Wild Wings Series race because they are rookies in this series. And another reason why they're running for the championship in both the Truck Series and the Buffalo Wild Wings Series is they are rookies. They have never raced in the PCSRA before. Of course, Sean Art is one of our Triple P rookie panelists, along with Jared Underhill. How about Xavier Alsop, the rookie? Xavier, who has one Monster Energy Series win coming at Michigan in 2016, driving the number 74 Chevrolet. At the time was for World Mouse Racing. There's Darby King in the zero. She's also another driver who's also running double duty, going to be in tomorrow night's race. Monster Energy Series race. Also, Chloe Carmichael in the two, I should mention. Carmichael's doing triple duty. She took part in last night's Truck Series race. She's taking part in tonight's Buffalo Wild Wings Series race. And she'll make her Monster Energy Series debut tomorrow night, driving for Turner Buick Racing's number 53 for Turner Buick Racing. So, trying to get as much experience here this weekend as she can. Wyatt Garcia takes the lead. Lulu Champagne, who will also be in tomorrow night's Monster Energy Series race, so she's also going to get some good laps. A lot of these drivers, some that are in tomorrow night's Monster Energy Series. There's Todd Montgomery. Todd Montgomery is going to be running for Rookie of the Year tomorrow night as he'll make his Monster Energy Series debut, driving the 34 Love's Travel Stops and Country Stores Ford Fusion. And Todd wants to have a good start to the season, if you know what I mean. There's Max Lipson. Of course, his sister Emmy on the pit box of the 10. Of course, you'll see Emmy Lipson and the drivers in the Monster Energy Series tomorrow night, as they'll cap off our race weekend here at Riki Raceway. Next week, we'll be at Atlanta as we pull up our motorsports calendar. Of course, tomorrow night is the Monster Energy Series season opener here at Riki. We'll be under the lights. And unlike trucks in Buffalo Wild Wings Series, they're running divisions. They're going to have at least 50 laps on their belt. I think. I could be wrong. Knowing I'll be wrong. As there's Lainey Fredrickson. Of course, Lainey is my girlfriend, since I'm not racing in the in neither trucks nor Buffalo Wild Wings Series, and possibly I will make a few Monster Energy Series races, but my schedule is yet to be announced. when I will be in those races. So we'll see what happens. There's Luke Peters in the 11. There's Ari Springer. Of course, we've basically went through most of the field. So I'm going to check back here. Nobody has lost the pack. All 42 cars still in this race, 41 on the lead lap. Stephanie Driscoll made that unscheduled stop on the pace lap. She's currently 1 lap down, which brings me to my question. When will we see pit stops? Because in the Buffalo Wild Wings Series non-charter race a couple of days ago, as we got a battle for the lead with Ari Springer passing Todd Montgomery, we were getting ready to make green flag pit stops in our non-charter race because they ran 50 laps. But the yellow flag came out because Desiree Voiles, at the time driving was in the 61 at the time. If you weren't with us for the non-charter race, clipped the apron, collected Bill Nye, the science guy, and a bunch of other drivers. And yeah, the rest was history. So hopefully these drivers took a lot of notes from that non-charter race and will apply it here in this season. Now, one thing I do need to point out is Sierra Harris is going to take the lead. The 4 drivers the 4 drivers who are in this field, they are Zachary Fitzwater, Alita Perez. I'm trying to remember who the other one. Darby King could be an exception because she's a rookie. She may just be locked into every race because, to be fair, I want to make sure she's going to run for Rookie of the Year. So she's going to run this race, or she's going to run the full season. So she'll be exempt from having to race her way into the field. And there was one other driver I may have forgotten, but I am trying to look. But anyway, those drivers I just documented. If they win tonight, it's not going to matter because they're not running for the championship. So that means next week we're going to have 3 drivers race their way in the non-charter race because since Darby King is a rookie and she's never raced in the PCSRA before, so she'll be locked in the show. So we have 39 charters instead of 38. So we're only going to have 3 drivers race their way in next week. And that should be interesting as Hugo's going to take the race lead. Here comes Makoto Tanaka in the 44 from Japan, the only Japanese driver in the field. Scarlett Nelson right there. Xavier Allsop. There's Mia Watson, the 16. Kaylee Rankin in the 31. The reason Kaylee Rankin is in this series to begin with is because since she could not get any funding or a team for the Foster Series, she dropped down to the Buffalo Wild Wings Series to join Q-Man. Unfortunately, Kaylee had a charter. Quentin Moore did not. Quentin Moore failed to qualify for the Buffalo Wild Wings Series. Failed to qualify for this race tonight because he was not in the top 4, which next week and the remainder of the season for Buffalo Wild Wings will be top 3, but did not make it into a transfer spot and sadly failed to qualify and had to load up and go home, which was really sad. And that's a shame for Quentin Moore because Quentin Moore is also another one of those panelists that will make a part-time schedule in the Monster Energy Series. I don't know what races he'll be running, but he'll be running something. And I do want to point out for the Monster Energy Series, and I'll touch up on this tomorrow night, that with the exception of the part-time drivers, the part-time drivers would not count as far as the drivers falling into the danger zone as we're getting closer to the pit stops here. They're not a part of the danger zone. Only the drivers that are running the full schedule would be a part of the danger zone. And since Darby King, like I said, is running for Rookie of the Year in both this series and Monster Energy Series, she's just gaining some experience because she needs a lot of it, if you know what I mean. Because you know how team owner Nathan Oren wants to get some seat time. So there you go. And running the Buffalo Wild Wings Series season, in addition to the number 7 or actually the 007, I should say, in tomorrow night's season opener for the Monster Energy Series, which you'll see that tomorrow. And they'll be running division races, as I said. Just under 100 laps to go here at Riki Raceway. If you just joined us, we have been clean and green since the start of the race, but I don't want to jinx it because there's a good chance we will see a yellow flag tonight. Hopefully I don't jinx that either. Hopefully we get a yellow flag tonight. I'm going to be flat out honest. We are not going to go the entire race without a yellow flag rearing its ugly head. Pretty soon we should see pit stops here. And one thing we're going to have to keep an eye on as these drivers are going to make green flag pit stops, and we saw this in the Truck Series and also in the non-charter race for the Buffalo Wild Wings Series, is we have pit lane incidents, and that really could really hurt your car because aerodynamics mean a whole lot here at Riki Raceway. Tracks like, say, tracks at Bristol, Martinsville, that's on the schedule is not going to mean much. However, when we have green flag pit stops, these drivers need to give signals to let everybody know, hey, I'm coming to pit road, so that way we don't have a crash coming to pit road. And we've never made green flag pit stops before in Buffalo Wild Wings Series competition. We did have some green flag pit stops in Truck Series, but that was because the field was already limited due to the amount of yellows we had, which was 3. So we'll have to keep an eye on and see if these drivers can learn their lesson as far as that's concerned. They should be coming next time by. I'm surprised they're not coming down the pit road right now. But they will eventually because they just completed lap 44. We're on lap number 45. Make sure how many, let's see, how far can they go in fuel for these cars? 44 laps, right on the nose. So these drivers, and we're going to have to see what's going to happen because they may end up running out of fuel here. And if you run out of fuel, oh boy, you're going to have a huge problem. And to my surprise, they're not coming to pit road to my surprise. Huh. Because 44, unless they can go a lot further, I could be wrong, but they may go further. They can't make it 140 laps. I mean, let's be honest here. I'm surprised they can go a lot further unless, yeah, they're starting to slow down. So I think they're going to ready to pit this lap. Boy, if you run out of gas in front of this pack, you're in big trouble. So everybody's going to have to come to pit road right now. Yep, here we go. Pit stops. As I predicted. That checked up a lot of people. Gonzalez is in. Oh, Heather Galloway nearly got collected. These drivers did the smart strategy, came to pit road. That, however, broke up the pack. I'm surprised they went 46 laps. Unless they did a lot of saving under pacing coming to the green, which normally you wouldn't be doing that, but surprisingly they did. All right, now make sure you give each other enough room. Don't want to see a yellow flag or this could really screw everything up. Most of these drivers staying out. The first group of cars that came to pit road are now coming back out on the track. The one car can go a lot further. The one car what needs to happen is if a yellow comes out in the middle of the stops, she could get back on the lead lap. That's what the one car needs. Because they might have put a lot more fuel on board that one car when she came to pit road, made that unscheduled stop. And here comes some more cars pitting. Just make sure you guys don't cause a pit lane collision. I mean, we had that happen in the non-charter race. It shouldn't take a scientist to figure that out. Everybody's currently a lap down, but that's because we haven't cycled through these green flag pit stops. One thing to note, that yellow line is going to be out of bounds. You cannot go below that line to advance your position, as some of these drivers are going to pit. That one car, like I said, is going to stay out because that one car pitted on lap number 1, so she can go a lot further until she has to come to pit road. The problem is she's going to be by herself. That's going to be the insult. Trying to make sure no car has any damage. That one car is going to have to bank for a yellow. Got to be careful merging on the track. As long as you guys are careful trying to get back up to speed, should be all right. And the one car is going to come to pit road. She went 48 laps. They're saying the 22 of Amanda Wallace is leading, but that's because she hadn't come out of the pits yet. So here she comes. Do we have a problem in the back? Yes, we did. The 9's blown up. Oh, we're crashing. Oh, this is the big one. This is the big one. This is the big one. Yep. Oh, this is a huge accident. Huge accident. Turn number 3. Oh, this is going to swap up a bunch of cars. It's the big one. Oh, my word. Oh, my goodness me. We're going to have to throw a red flag. There is carnage everywhere. We have carnage everywhere, and the caution is no doubtably out. Yellow flag, and there is the big one. And that might have just saved the one car from going a lap down. What a timely caution that was for Stephanie Driscoll. Monica Towns has got no hood. Diana Lawson, Luke Peters, Scarlett Nelson. Wow, that was a huge wreck. And ladies and gentlemen, we have just had the dreaded big one, and that took out a bunch of cars. Holy macaroni and cheese. We're going to have to throw the red flag, caution, and immediate red flag. That was a huge one. All right, first of all, 09 is 2 laps down. What happened to the 09? Why is she 2 laps down? Did she get involved in an incident? Let's see. We're going to investigate. First of all, let's see what happened here. We're going to figure this puzzle out. Oh, wait. Shit. Gotta figure out why the 09 is 2 laps down. All right, let's figure this out. I had to put my phone down so my... Wait, who just hit... Who hit who? Oh, 45 hit the 17. Okay. Oops. Damn it, I want to get to the 45. Thanks, game. Yep. 45... Yep, 45 ran the back. Oh, he had damage. Okay. This would be why. So the 45 is going to run the back of the 17. That's Bella Santiago right there. That's where the hood buckle comes from. 09 is going to run in the back. How did the 09 get involved? Oh, 45 hit the 17 again. Not sure what that was really all about. That's going to be looked at by race control. Let's see how the 09 had to teleport to pit road. Oh, Monica Towns just ran to the back of the 09. This is probably why the 09 had to teleport to pit road. Just overshot her stall. There's where the damage came from. And the 09 just came to a stop. So that means cars 45 and 13 have been summoned to meet the officials in the big orange, or the big black and yellow truck, excuse me. So that's why the 13 had no hood. Now let's see what happened to cause the big one. That was a huge wreck, and that had no business of that happening. And this happened while these drivers were pitting. Let's go to the 9 of Maria Nowicki, because something happened to her. Let's go to left. Let's go right here. Okay, this will start with Maria. This will tell us why what happened, what caused the first yellow. Yep, engine went go. Okay, so the 9 blew up. So this is almost like what happened with Desiree. Okay, so the 9 blows up. Oh, let's see. Ooh, okay. Watch the 70. Watch Ivory. Somebody's going to hit her right there. That's the 83. Shove Fitzy in the wall. The 2 car got a piece of it, and in the wall she goes. That was Chloe Carmichael, as if her weekend couldn't get any worse. And then how on bloody earth did these drivers pile up? Max Lipson was involved. 45 nearly got a piece of it. Good grief. And then look, oh my word, look at how many, whoa, look at Annie Winters. Holy cow. How did they get involved? Oh, 84 was collected. So both the Red Bulls got involved. 58 didn't slow down. Jeez. That's why there's brakes, drivers. Jesus Christ. The 9 car, I don't know if the 9's going to get a piece. Yep, 9 got a piece of it. So the 9 stays down. Wow. Holy cow, the 66 went flying. Holy cow. I've never seen that before in this series, ever. Wow. Oh my goodness me. That is in remnants of what happened in the Battle of the SRA. 17 got a piece of it. The 16 is flipping. My God, these drivers didn't even slow down. Annie Winters involved. Oh my word, the 83 and the 11. Holy cow. We've had a lot of hard wrecks than what we've had all weekend. My God, Springer got a piece of it. The 06 of Montgomery, 41 goes flipping. Good grief. And it's not even over. Kaylee Rankin, the 14 is involved. How many cars are going to be left after this? My God. We've just turned 3 and 4 at Riki Raceway into a junkyard. Makoto Tanaka hits her team owner through no fault of her own. Kaylee Rankin fails to use the brakes. Jared Underhill's involved. I've never seen anything like this before. And this lady right here is the damn lucky son of a gun. But my, oh my. I have never seen anything like that where a lot of drivers went barrel rolling. Oh my goodness me. I have never seen that at this racetrack before. That is almost reminiscent of what happened when we had a lot of wrecks coming out of the trial. I've never seen anything like this. How race control is going to fault this on. I don't know how race control is going to summarize that. But But my goodness, we're going to have not only a lot of drivers out of this race, we're going to have a lot of drivers called to the big black and yellow truck for not even slowing down. I mean, they just came missling in there at 170 miles an hour. They should have slowed way down. Instead, they just took out a bunch of cars, and that's going to really be a upsetting thing as safety officials are there. Look at the cars. Let me go to the helicopter. Look at the cars on pit road. Don't pay attention to the 09. Look at the cars. Look at how many cars. Ignore the 09. Oh my goodness. I have never seen a wreck like that big in any series I've done on this channel. My freaking God. What a goddamn wreck. The only thing I can say in that remark, somebody's coming to pit road. Who's that coming on the pit road? That's Fitzwater. He's got a lot of damage to his car. They've just cleaned up the red flag. A lot of drivers are going to be called to the big black and yellow truck for an explanation why they did not slow down. My God, that was almost reminiscent of what happened the last time we were here in 2016. And also the last time, and also what happened in the Battle of the SRA when I think it was either Sarah Redmond or somebody, I can't tell who it was, but they went flying into the catch fence, hit the signage. My God, I do hope everybody involved is okay. I'm glad that safety crews are down there attending to most of these drivers. Good grief, that was 20 cars involved, at least. And we're going to have a teensy tiny little field for this restart. Goodness me, I hope a lot of those drivers are okay. I have never seen a wreck that big before in this series. So the first caution of the race comes out, and for the first time this whole weekend, because remember in the non-charter race, we only had like at least 6 or 7. That was more cars involved in this wreck versus the non-charter race, and more drivers involved in this race or in this wreck than we had all weekend. Of course, Monster Energy ran caution-free in their charter deal. Same with the, or not charter deal, excuse me, the Reese's Clash. Then our non-charter race for Truck Series was clean and green, even though they had to deal with lap traffic. And Buffalo Wild Wings had a little big one. My goodness. And now now we've just had our biggest wreck of this entire weekend. So let's give you a full grid rundown before we document the drivers out of the race, and they are a lot of them. And of course, we have to mention the drivers who are invited to see the stewards after the officials in the big yellow and black truck, the big yellow black truck. Wyatt Garcia is the leader. Amanda Wallace second. Well, we can say this. Sean Art will not go 2 for 2 and as far as being involved in yellows is concerned. He is third. Fourth is J.J. Park. Fifth, Jake Putnam. Sixth, Alita Torres. Seventh, Emma Tutu, as we're getting the one to go green. Eighth, Jesse Art. So that means Jesse and Sean have survived the carnage. Greta Wagner's off the lead lap, but she is up to speed. She's going to gain a shitload of spots. 9th, Heather Galloway. 10th, Victor Gonzalez. 11th, Darby King. 12th, Carla Sinat, as the 17's coming on the track. Bella Santiago, 13th. She has been invited to the big black and yellow truck after this race. Good grief. 14th, Justin Hugo. 15th, Paul Michaels. Monica Town, 16th with no front end. She is also another driver that's been called to the big black and yellow truck. Stephanie Driscoll, you are one lucky little lady, as she's 17th. She is very lucky that caution came out the right time and saved herself from having to go a lap down. 18th, Zachary Fitzwater, Lulu Champagne, 19th. 20th is Greta Wagner. Or no, 20th is Xavier Allstop. 21st will be Greta Wagner, who is off the lead lap. And all those drivers involved in that wreck, Fitzy has continued on, as we're going to go ahead and get the green flag out. Drivers out, and there are a lot of them. And all these drivers have all been, well, with the exception of the 70. Give me a second. This stupid thing is in the way. Sorry about that, folks. God damn it. Sorry about this, guys. I'm about to run that thing over the train in about 3 seconds. Sorry about that. That came out of nowhere. I do apologize for that. Drivers out, and there are a lot of them. Max Lipson, Ari Springer, Samantha Grenville, Makoto Tanaka, Damian Sharper, Emily Elizabeth. Hope that Emily Elizabeth is okay. John Wesley Allen. So both the Red Bulls are out of the race. 409's 4 laps down, by the way. The 12, Jared Underhill. So not the start of the season Jared would have liked. Mia Watts, Annie Winters, as the 09's coming to pit road, looks like she's got an issue with her car, but she's 21st, so there you go. Sorry, I was getting an itch. Todd Montgomery, Bridget Thomas, Kaylee Rankin, the 9 of Maria Nowicki, which, by the way, Maria Nowicki had a mechanical problem. Not sure what broke on her car, but a tough break for her nevertheless. Ivory Walker, the 2 of Chloe Carmichael, so a bad weekend for Chloe Carmichael just got worse. Diana Lawson, Lainey Fredrickson, Luke Peters, and Scarlett Nelson. All of those drivers out of the race. The 9 car is not going to be asked to see the officials in the big yellow and black truck. So with the exception of the 9, a lot of those drivers involved in that wreck that did not slow down that I just mentioned have all been asked to meet the officials in the big black and yellow truck, and that was close. Greta Wagner nearly pulled up and took almost another big wreck that we didn't need. Jeez. Nearly took out Sean Art. I don't think Sean's going to be happy about that, as Monica Townsend and Lulu Champagne have continued on. They've also have asked to see Lulu Champagne in the big yellow and black truck. So we have over 20 cars in this series alone been called to the big black and yellow truck for a meeting with the officials. And all those drivers involved won't go there until they are fully released from the infield care center. And I hope all of those drivers involved are okay. As Victor Gonzalez going for the lead. And you can add, Greta Wagner has also has been given a warning for nearly LePaging the field. The officials felt like that was a dangerous merge on the 09, so they have warned her not to do it again. Because if she does it again, she's going to be in trouble with the officials. So we have 21 cars running, 19 on the lead lap, and that's a teensy tiny little field. One more thing, we're not halfway yet. A lot of those drivers took extremely hard hits in that wreck. Jared Underhill, by the way, has been released from the care center. Jared, by the way, is not going to be called to the big black and yellow truck. It's just, he just had no place to go. But all the other drivers who didn't slow down have been called to the big black and yellow truck. So Jared is on his way back to the motor coach. Tough break for Jared. And that means Sean Art got very lucky. He did not get involved in that wreck. Same with his little sister, and there's his little sister right there. So Sean and Jesse have redeemed themselves. But Sean, if you're watching, you got your wish on the wreck the field. Jeez. And that was 21 drivers. That, if I had to take a wager guess how many cars were involved, that's at least 23, 24 drivers I counted involved in that wreck. If you exclude the 09, because the 09 had to teleport to pit road, and we got a lot of drivers called to the big black and yellow truck. And the 09 got, and the 09 did apologize and said, sorry guys, I didn't mean to do that, so. Oh boy. There is going to be a lot of drivers in trouble. And by the way, I want to point this out. There's plenty of seats in the big black and yellow truck. Same with the big red truck. Same with the big green truck. And the big blue truck. There's going to be plenty of seats in those haulers for the officials to have a little sit-down chat with them. And that big black and yellow truck is going to be a long one. It's going to be a long wait. And we'll give you an update on some drivers' conditions when we get the chance. That was a lot of hard hits, and I cannot believe we went from a 42-car field to a 21. That was half the field that's in the garage out of the race. They had to get a crap load of ambulances to transport all those drivers involved to the infield care center. They had to throw the red flag because there was a lot of cars upside down, couldn't get out of their cars. And the officials are going to definitely look into that incident with the 70 and the 83 after this race, because they were the ones that started that big one. And it looked to me like the 70 was trying to get out of the way, and I just don't think the 83. It was one of the Red Bulls that hit the 70, and that's what caused all that crash. The problem was the 70 was trying to get back up to speed because she had to check up because the 9 blew up. As Stephanie Driscoll, I don't know how lucky she's got to be, but she was a lap down. Now she's in the second position. So talk about turning a bad night. Talk about turning a bad night into something good for her. She could have been one lap down. So Stephanie Driscoll, you are one lucky lady, you are. I bet Cody Smart will be happy for Steph. Talk about turning a bad weekend and redeeming yourself after a rough truck series race last night. And one thing I didn't mention is about this track is when you go flipping on the banking, because how high the banking is on the track, because it's flat on the bottom. The transition from the bottom to the track is really steep, and drivers always have a tendency of having their cars land back on either its wheels or as they're getting ready to catch a lap car, or remain on their roof. That's Monica Towns. They're about to put a lap on her because she's damaged. And of course, Monica Towns is also one of those drivers who has been asked to see the officials after the race, and hopefully she's not going to be asked to see the officials for 2 conversations. And there she is, getting in the way. Hopefully she doesn't cause another big wreck and make the field even tinier. So we're coming up to the halfway point of this race. All the drivers involved in that wreck have gone to the infield care center, so that is a requirement. Everyone did climb out of their cars okay. Some of them are in the infield care center right now as we speak. Who's that up ahead? That's Lulu Champagne, and she's got a hood buckle on her Texaco Haviland Dodge. As we've hit the halfway point of the race. If the race is long, then the one on the game, that's because we had a little red flag to show you an extended replay of the big one that took part, and we're now halfway through this race. And Jared Underhill is a little disappointed. Hate that for Jared, as we're now 70 down, 70 to go. That's Lulu. They're about to lap. And of course, another thing is that was coming off green flag pit stops these drivers had to make. I bet those like Zachary Fitzwater came back down pit road to repair some of the damage. As Alita Perez has lost the draft. Same with Monica Towns. There's Fitzy. Yeah, Bella Santiago is going to have an explanation. Hopefully they can get around Lulu without much of an issue. That's the first time we've had the big one on the back straightaway. Or actually, second time this weekend we've had the big one. We've had one coming off turn 2 in the non-charter race for Buffalo Wild Wings. We had most of our wrecks in the truck race. One coming out of 4. Most of them came through 1 and 2. And on the back straightaway. Don't know if we're going to have the big one in tomorrow night's Monster Energy race, but we will have to wait and see when that race comes around. A lot of drivers took some very hard impacts, as Heather Galloway, the only Honda Accord leading this race. Honda's going to get their first lap sled here in the Buffalo Wild Wings series. Don't think these drivers are going to make it the rest of the way. Should this go green the rest of the way? Lita Perez damaged and off the pace, or not damaged, but off the pace. And like I said, this is a teensy tiny field than what we had at the start of this race. Of course, it's not going to affect the Lita Perez in them. So we are left with a lot of contenders in this one. And we're going to go 3 wide here. Carla Sinat, Emma Tutu, and Wyatt Garcia. Garcia, 3 wide. They have kept it together, so that's really good. Jesse and Sean are in this lead pack together. There's the 18 right there. Here's the 19 right there. So Jesse and Sean still in this race and still have a chance to win. Like I said, those that are running the schedule, if they win, they're in the playoffs. Oh, no, 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 no. I was about to say, oh, no, don't go 4 wide. We have not had 4 wide issues we have not had 4 wide all weekend. Jesse almost got an 86, but we keep it together, so that's the good thing. Oh, no, no, no. Okay. I was about to get ready to say, we're about to go 4 wide, and that's never a good idea. Come on, driver, settle down. We still got a lot of laps to go. Let's survive, please and thank you. We don't need another big one. Carla still leads. Monica Town still off the pace. Hopefully these drivers can be respectful to one another. Hopefully we don't have another incident like we are gonna have, or hopefully we can go incident free the rest of the race. We didn't have a whole lot of trucks involved in the truck race as far as the big one was concerned, only 6 or 7 trucks. Tonight we had 24 drivers involved. That wiped out a number of contenders. They're really, oh no, they're really close back there. 3 wide, that was kind of sketchy there. They keep it together though. Gotta keep an eye on this lead pack because they are really, it's really getting dicey back here. Sean's like, I better drop to the back before all hell breaks loose. Ooh, Sean getting really close to Jake Putnam there, but Putnam gives him room, and we are still keeping it together. Of course, we have a lap car in the middle of that pack, but the 09 is up to speed. '09 is 5 laps down. So Greta Wagner, not the night she would have liked, but the good thing is she's not going to finish dead last in this race. That's the brilliant thing. Need to pump my thumb because my thumb's a little sore. Like I said, this lead pack, okay, looks like the lead pack's settling down, so the officials are not going to be frowning on a 4 wide, so at least they kept it together. And remember what I said, that we will have a caution at some point in this race? Well, I didn't jinx that, so thank God for that. Because I knew in the back of my mind, we will have a yellow before this race is over. All those drivers that are currently in the infield care center are still there. As, guess who? Monica Towns back at it again. I swear, she causes another problem. Ooh, we're in for it. It's like she's 9, but she's going to hold up that inside line. Don't think some people are going to be happy with Towns, but to be fair, you know, she's running 20th, so even though she's badly damaged, at least the fact is she can still finish this race. But as I said, that was a huge wreck. And Greta Wagner going to get down the inside, so they're going to dispatch the 13. 13 is 2 laps down. Pretty soon that 09 will pass her for position. It's Victor Gonzalez going for the lead. All those drivers that are still in the infield care center. I know Jared's already out of the care center. The 9's already out of the care center. Those that were those had to go to the care center on a golf cart are still there. Right now, the officials are heading to the infield care center. And once those drivers just been told the 70 who took a very, being told the driver of the 83 that was John Wesley Allen. He has been taken on a stretcher. He'll be taken to a local hospital for further evaluation because that was a very frightening accident. Also, Damian Charper has also been taken on a stretcher to a local hospital for further evaluation because he flew in the air. So already we might end up having some injuries. Which Damien did get out of the car under his own power, but had to be helped into the ambulance. So, while I'm glad he's okay, he's just gonna go ahead and be taken to a hospital as a further precaution. Because he was helped into the ambulance. At least he got out of the car under his own power. So John Wesley Allen should be okay as far as the next race is concerned. That would be for the race coming up at Atlanta. And there's Sean Art going to go for the race lead. Of course, the 54 failed to qualify for the race. And the 3 full-time GGR cars, the 18, the 19, and the 20, still in this race, still on the lead lap, and still in this lead pack. And we might end up adding one more driver to the list of the cars going to the big black and yellow truck. Ivory Walker and Makoto Tanaka, those two have also been taken to a local hospital for further treatment. Because that 70 car got hit really hard. At least the good news is it was on the passenger side. And you gotta thank the PCSRA and the Buffalo Wild Wings series for building a safer race car, because these cars are a lot safer. And a lot of give, if you ask me, so. But the good news is Tanaka and Ivory Walker, yes, they were okay, but they are being taken into the Buffalo Wild Wings series truck, or SUV in this case. Nothing that they did wrong, it's just they are just going to be taking a ride to the hospital together, so that way they can get further treatment and evaluation, all that, as a precaution. Yes, they are okay and they are out of the care center, but everybody else is still in the infield care center. As Lulu Champagne's gonna try to let some people go. least Paul Michaels. There's Paul Michaels. How he survived this race, I don't know. So both the Electric Enterprise drivers should be all right by the time we get into tomorrow's race. Of course, they're gonna go ahead and let those drivers have a shower probably before, or they're gonna end up having them take a shower at the hospital. But glad that those drivers are gonna be okay. So again, the 44, the 70, the 14 are the drivers that are going to the hospital for further evaluation because they took extra, and the 83. So 4 drivers are taken out of the ambulance. They are okay, but they're just being taken to the hospital as a precautionary treatment. And they probably will be released from the hospital, and we'll try to get updates on those drivers before tomorrow night's Monster Energy Series race. Right now, the officials currently reviewing that big one right now between the 70 and the 83 it was. It was one of the Red Bulls. I couldn't tell which one it was that made the initial contact. It was the A3 as Monica Towns has been pulled to pit road. This must be a pit stop. If she goes out of the race, we'll see what's going to happen to the 13. Well, that's one last lap car to get out of the way. And let's see what they do. Yep, this will be a pit stop. Emma Tutu has lost the pack. Same with Greta Wagner. Zachary Fitzwater's on pit road. Hopefully all those drivers involved. Oh, pit stops. This must be green flag pit stops. Somebody just peeled the pit road. That's Victor Gonzalez. This must be pit stops. Unless they realize they can't make it the rest of the way. And they probably want to save fuel on this stint. So this must be pit stops here. Second round of green flag stops they have to make tonight. Yep, pit stops are taking place, so they realize that, and of course we went back to green because these drivers before that big one happened already made green flag pit stops. Oh, 43 just ran in the back of the 86. That's not only female abuse, well, that's going to get reviewed, so that means both of the petty car drivers are going to be asked to see the stewards after this. Sean Art's going to go for the lead. He's probably going to come down pit road next time by. Yep, officials just confirmed it. Incident involving cars 43 and 86 under investigation. To my not so surprise on that little ordeal. Hopefully everybody does not cause any issues on pit road. So the 43 is going to have some damage to the front end on his machine. Yep, there it is. Driver crew chief 43 to the big black and yellow truck after this race. Man, we're going to have a lot of drivers called to the big black and yellow truck. And if there are going to be penalties, there will be penalties. I can count you that $500 there will be penalties. Jake Putnam and Amanda Wallace, last cars coming to pit road. I don't know who's still the race leader. They're saying the 22 is. That's because she made her pit stop. Now these drivers will have to make one more stop. Oh, Xavier Alsop has a problem. He has got a problem. He is He is trying to get back up to speed. We're still green. Ah, no, that's a tough break for Xavier. He's going to make it to pit road. Yep, he's coming to pit road. He's got an issue. That's a tough break for him. It looks like possibly Sean's going to be the leader. Let's see. What's the issue on the 17? We're going to go to TV2. Flat tire. Picked up a puncture. Tough break for the 17. Knew something was wrong with that car, and he came to pit road. Looked like something was wrong. Probably had a loose wheel or something, so they're going to change the tires on his car. See if that fixed the issue. Yep, he's coming back up to speed, but he's going to lose some laps doing so. So, tough break for him. We're going to go back up here, and Sean is the leader with 40 laps to go.
We shall return. We're going to get food. Seriously, just change that light bulb.
By the time you're watching this, after this race, I'm going to bed because I got to be up early, so. Looking forward to tomorrow night's Monster Energy Series. Hopefully those drivers won't cause any issues tomorrow night. 17 has gone a couple of laps down, 3 to be exact. Top 6 in this lead pack. Sean currently the leader. Here comes the 28 of Wyatt Garcia. Those drivers save enough fuel, ran enough fuel. Could these drivers make it the rest of the way? We'll have to find out. Zachary Fitzwater is the next driver. They're going to put a lap down. Of course, Fitzy was involved in the big one, but didn't do a whole lot of damage. So Fitzy is probably another driver who has survived this race. All those drivers involved in that big one that were still in the infill care center have all been released from the care center. They're going to head to the dressing room and hit the showers. And then they're off to the big yellow and black truck for a conversation with the officials. So glad everybody involved is okay. However, there's going to be some people that are going to have mixed reviews on who caused what and all that. Regardless, it took out a good 21 drivers. And with the 70, the 44, 9, 12, and 83 that are either already in their motor coach or have gone to a local hospital, those drivers that I did not mention are on their way to the big black and yellow truck for a meeting with the officials when this, which will probably be immediately. And then the 43 and 45 will see the officials when the race is over, once they are done taking a shower and yada, yada, yada. There's Fitzwater. Wonder how much damage it did to the 43. Yep, got a hood buckle. Whereas Xavier Allsop lost the draft. Yeah, they'll be catching Fitzy really soon. Jesse and Sean working together. In fact, all three JGR cars working together. The 19, Jesse and Sean, and also Jake Putnam, former champion in the AutoZone Amateur Series. We'll also see Wayne Lopez in this series starting next week. We're going to have a lot of penalties to go through. But like I said, with the exception of Jared, the 83, the 44, the 70, with the exception of those drivers who are not called to the big black and yellow truck, like the 9, the 12, the 70, and the 44, they have all been asked to see the officials in the big yellow and black truck, which, by the way, they have already made it to the big black and yellow truck, because they're currently already changing clothes in the dressing room, the Buffalo Wild Wings Series dressing room to be exact. And there's Zachary Fitzwater. They're going to get ready to put a lap on him in that 39. First time Fitzy's been going to be put a lap down in this race. Don't think Fitzy is going to be much of an issue. Jake Putnam's going to keep the lead. And look at there, JGR 1, 2, 3 right there. The 20, the 19, and the 18 right together. Jesse leads. Here comes Darby King. She's been learning a lot throughout this race with 30 laps to go. If these drivers get a late race yellow, they can make it the rest of the way. We just don't know how much fuel saving they did under pacing. If they did save enough, they can make it the rest of the way. Look at some of these names up here that could possibly win this race. You got Victor Gonzalez, you got JJ Park, they're in Chevrolets. Heather Galloway in the only Honda Accord in the field in the 86. How would it be for Honda to go to victory lane in the Buffalo Wild Wings Series? They've been to victory lane before in the Monster Energy Series with Noah Tutu behind the wheel. Of course, he was driving the 01 Taco Bell Honda Accord in the in the Monster Energy Series back in Atlanta, the track we're going to next week. And Jared has already finished up his interview, as he's already getting ready to join Ormy and Zachary Taylor and Cody Smart for the post-race show. That will be coming up when this race is over. Boy, they're going to have a lot to talk about in this one. They have a lot to talk about. Jared Underhill is going to join them. Of course, Jared, Q-Man, Cody, Orman, and Taylor are going to be doing the post-race show, as they'll recap what has been a busy day. And they'll preview tomorrow's Monster Energy Series races here at Riki. Hope you will join us for that. Because if you look, the booth that I'm in is the one out of the trial bowl. Their setup stage is the one before the trial. Or actually, they're in the, so. And of course, those same people I mentioned, Nathan Orman, Zachary Taylor, Cody Smart, Sean Art, and all of them, they're going to be doing race day tomorrow. Interview, and they'll send it to Jared and Q-Man for the interviews. And I'll be in the booth calling tomorrow night's Monster Energy Series. That will wrap up our race weekend. And guess who? Monica Towns getting in the way. Not to my surprise. And that's allowing Fitzy to catch right back up to this pack. That's got to be frustrating that you're getting held up by a car who's damaged and off the pace, so. And that put Jesse Art into the lead of the race, but they got another lap car they're going to have to deal with, the 42 of Lulu Champagne. You notice those flags been moving around. It's been somewhat windy all day. As the 6th car of Victor Gonzalez, currently the leader. And a lot of people have been asking me a good question, and I'll go ahead and answer this question while this race is going on. A lot of people have been asking me about both the Truck Series and Buffalo Wild Wings, as the 28 is going to take the lead. How excited are you calling both Trucks and Buffalo Wild Wings Series in addition to Monster Energy Series? For me, it's been a long time coming, as Lulu Champagne's about to get in the way of the leaders. It's really a fun experiment, or a fun series to watch. Hello, Pace Car, how are you doing? It's a fun series, to do because, I did this, with Travis, Elijah, William Brock, who, by the way, will have his drivers and himself in tomorrow night's Monster Energy Series. So hopefully they learned a lot from watching these races we've had here this weekend. But going back to my point, I wanted to bring back these two series. I did appreciate Cody Smart taking care of these two series while I took care of the Monster Energy Series the last 2 years. And now bringing both the Trucks and Buffalo Wild Wings Series and Monster Energy Series here full time, and for also possibly for the foreseeable future, it's a lot of fun. Is Oreo going to come back? I really don't know. It could come back. It may not. We just don't know. We will have to wait and see how things go. And that's the thing, is that, I love doing these races, and I love, like I said, I love Trucks, I love Buffalo Wild Wings, I love Monster Energy Series, I love doing any NR Series, special events, whatever. But the thing about this is that, I wanted to do this series and the Truck Series for quite a while, because like I said, I have not done a Buffalo Wild Wings Series race since 2016. I haven't done a truck race since 2016 until last night's broadcast. And you think about it is we have 20 laps to go and it looks like everybody could possibly make it on fuel. But the thing about it is that, you know, I wanted to bring those two back. You know, it was not a question of if, it was a question of when, you know. And now that I got, you know, and of course we had a little speed bump with, you know, NR being stupid and all that with me, with the game crash on me so many times when I was trying to get ready to record a race. But in all seriousness, you know, I never gave up. I said, you know, as I'm going to go take a drink here. I said, let's fix NR. Clear up all the space on my laptop, which we did. And let's get with the program and let's get this issue fixed so that way I can bring back the races and all that, yada, yada, yada. Well, it only took less than a week to get NR back on this computer, and here we are. And if it wasn't for all of you who pitched in and helped me get NR, this would have not happened. But to all of you who told me to not give up, and I made a promise. I said, I'm not going to give up until we get this problem fixed, as they're getting ready to lap Xavier Alsop. But I never gave up, and we got the issue fixed. We cleared up a shitload of space and then some, and now we're running all three series. Man, Xavier Alsop almost got turned by Sean Art. That could have been big, but thankfully it wasn't. And you know, your support is why I'm doing these races and I'm doing the season as planned. So, you know, hallelujah. And, you know, everybody's happy that I'm finally doing the races by myself because I made the commitment of doing the races, because there was no way in hell I was going to have co-commentators, because one, it would be difficult because of y'all's school schedule and all that. And I know you guys are busy. I know you don't want to be roasted at school. Nathan Orman, I'm looking at you. But you knew I was going to take on a big role. Yeah, it might be hard to have co-commentators and trying to do the races for you all, but if there's a reason why I'm doing it, there's a good reason. And I'm not going to try to make an excuse and say, well, I can't believe you didn't give us a reason and all that, yada, yada, yada. But in all seriousness, you know, it was going to be a challenge trying to do co-commentators, and that's why, unfortunately, we're not going to have co-commentators, which I know that's really sad. But at the same time, you guys should be happy that we have kicked off the 2023 season here for the 43 series, the Trucks, Buffalo Wild Wings, and Monster Energy Pro. Or Monster Energy Series, not Pro. You get the point. And it is time to go for these drivers. Monica Towns really held this group up. Excuse me. Coming down, there's the Junior Motorsports teammates, JJ Park and Stephanie Driscoll. Here comes Heather Galloway. As the laps tick down, the pulse rate ticks up. And that's why the intensity is getting bigger. Got a couple of Chevrolets, one Ford, or I'm sorry, a couple of Fords, a couple of Toyotas, and a Honda Accord as Galloway leads. Last night we had Samantha Granger go to victory lane here tonight, last night in the Truck Series race, my bad. tonight is Buffalo Wild Wings, not trucks. But Samantha Granger went to victory lane last night in the Buffalo Wild Wings series. Could we go 2 for 2 and a female driver go into victory lane, or are we going to have a male driver go to victory lane? We're going to find out. And Granger drove a Ford at the time when she went to victory lane last night in the truck series. We coming to 11 to go. For those asking what I'm chewing on, it's ice. Okay? As Jesse Art going for the lead. Also, I forgot to mention, when Samantha Granger went to victory lane last night, she was a rookie. So does that mean we're going to have a female rookie win? I'm not going to take a wager guess and say yes, it's going to happen. But we will find out in 10 laps time. So I am not going to say it's going to happen. We will just wait and see what happens. Hopefully we don't have a late race yellow. That's another thing in the back of my mind. That's also the last thing for those drivers that don't want to see is a late race yellow, and that really could screw everything up. And I mean literally, it will screw everything up. Trust me. As Darby King's going to go around the outside, as now the 13 is going to hold up these drivers. So Darby King's leading, but she pulled out to a big lead, and that's never a good thing here on a super speedway like this. All these drivers trying to get around that 13, who's currently still holding some people up. And Heather Galloway better get to the bottom right about now. Nope, she's stuck behind the 13. That's not good. And she's still stuck behind the 13. That's going to take Galloway out of contention. Unless we have more cars getting held up. Galloway still being held up. Galloway shaking her fist at the 13. That just costed her a chance to win this race. And Galloway is not happy with her. 8 to go. Will be 7 when they cross the line next time by. Now the 2 petty cars could also play a huge factor. That's the only way Jesse and Heather can get back up there. Because Jesse's trying to get back up there with that leaders. I'm going to go on board Jesse Art. She's just right there in the draft of the 7 and trying to get back up there, but the 2 petty cars could play a factor. As we're going to take you a lap around Riki. Sean's got to be proud with Jesse. Jesse's got to be proud of Sean. So Jesse and Sean last night had bad finishes. Tonight they've redeemed themselves wonderfully. They've stayed out of trouble all night, and now they have a very good chance to possibly win this race here. We have 6 to go. And Jesse's staying right there because she's catching a good draft. She might have just got herself back in this lead pack here. Bet Jesse's ready for a bathroom break and a shower. I bet everybody else who survived this race is likewise. Yep, 43 and 45 are going to definitely settle who's going to win this race. Coming to 5 laps of racing to go. If we get another caution, the race can end under the yellow. And Jesse is slowly but surely reeled in the main pack. What we don't need is the 2 petty cars to LePage the field. That's what we better not hope for. 86 is 6 seconds back. She's going to be falling into the clutches of the 32 pretty soon. Where's the 32 at right now? Speaking of the 32, that's Carla Sanat. So she'll be in this pack here really soon. Got some more lap cars ahead. We're going to have 4 laps of racing to go. This will play a factor who's going to win this race and lock themselves a spot into the playoffs, providing they can remain in the top 30 in the points. Thanks so much for joining us here tonight. We've had a very long broadcast. Hope you'll join us tomorrow for the finale of the Monster Energy Series that will wrap up this, what has been a very good race weekend, actually, as Sean Arts made his move with 3 laps to go. But did he make it too early? And the petty cars are about to cause a problem. They're about to determine who's going to win this race. In fact, we got 3 Dodges that will determine who will win this race. The 42, the 43, and the 45. If I'm Sean, I'm not feeling confident about getting through these with these traffic. 42 is going to go up high, get out of the leader's way. Going to hold up Darby King for a bit. Sean is trapped. Now he gets to the bottom of the 43 without a problem. Now can he get around the 45? 42 still holding up the 0. The 0 is getting really ticked. Can the 0 get down to the bottom? No is the answer because she's still getting held up. Oh, she's going to be furious at the 42. Sean has gotten around all the lap cars. Oh, Darby King's going to be livid with the 42, not getting out of the way. And they're going to throw the black flag out as we got 1 to go. Victor Gonzalez passing Sean. Next flag ends the race as the 0 gives the finger to the 42 for not getting out of the way. Got some more lap traffic. I don't think they're going to come into play. Down the back straightaway for the last time. Who is going to win this race and punch themselves a spot into the playoffs? Here comes Wyatt Garcia. Here comes Jesse Art. Can Jesse make a move? I don't think she's going to make a move. Wyatt Garcia is going to win the Canadian 315 here tonight at Riki. And the blue oval is 2 for 2 in season openers this weekend. First career win for Wyatt Garcia, and the question is, and we'll have to mention this all this time, did Wyatt Garcia lock himself a spot into this season's Buffalo Wild Wings Series chase for the championship, providing he remains in the top 30 in points? And we only had 1 yellow the entire race. Whew. You can breathe, y'all. This race is over. Standings are now official. Ignore it says retired. I'm going to fix it as running. But, man, oh man. Garcia, the winner. Jesse Art, so close, but we'll have to settle for second. J.J. Hart, great run from him in third. Victor Gonzalez, Stephanie Driscoll, the top 5. So talk about turning a bad day into something good for Driscoll, who was going to be finishing 42nd, but when that big one striked, it saved her from being lapped, and she gets rewarded with 5th. Sean Hart in 6th, Amanda Wallace 7th, Darby King 8th, Heather Galloway 9th, and Carla Sonat completed the top 10. Here's a little ironic. All rookies finished in the top 10. That's another funny part. That's a bruh. Jake Putnam, top 11 were rookies. Emma Tutu, Justin Hugo, Alita Perez was the last car to finish on the lead lap. Bella Santiago, Paul Michaels, Fitzy, Lulu Champagne, Xavier Allstott, Greta Wagner, and Monica Towns were all 1 lap down or more. And everybody else finished out of the race after the big one that took out 21 drivers in the process. And that was our only caution of the race, the big one. So, excuse me. But, man, what a race. I can't wait for tomorrow night. Who's going to win? Can Ford go 3 for 3 in the season opener for the BHRA Reese's, or not, excuse me, the PCSRA Monster Energy Series. I need to get my head straight. But anyway, I'm too tired. I'm getting ready to go to bed soon, so yeah. But that's going to do it here. Wyatt Garcia is going to go get some champagne and spray it in Victory Lane here at Riki Raceway here in Rimouski. Hope you guys enjoyed tonight's race. I know it was a long one, but you know what? It was damn well worth it. If you enjoyed tonight's race, be sure to give this video a like. Subscribe to become part of the PCSRA crew today. We've shown you your full finish results all the way down to 42nd. You will see your Buffalo Wild Wings Series points at the beginning of next week's pre-race show at Atlanta Motor Speedway. But we still got to cap off this weekend. We got the Monster Energy Series drivers ready to take on Riki Raceway tomorrow night for the divisions, in which 4 drivers are going to possibly lock themselves a spot into this season's chase for the championship. Hope you will join us for tomorrow night. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Dean DeVoles saying good night from Riki Raceway. Thanks for staying up late and appreciate your amazing support. Hope you will join us tomorrow night as we cap off our Riki race weekend. Till then, I'm Dean DeVoles. Good night from Riki. You've been watching a production of the PCSRA, the best in racing since 2017. And we will see you tomorrow night. Until then, good night from Riki, everybody. Get some sleep, and we'll see you tomorrow.